I'm going to give you another example of someone with very reasonable counterplay, but still has some crazy shit. Leroy is a character I've spent a lot of time labbing. So with Leroy, we have some options here. We can go down back 3 into Hermit stance. You want to lab the Hermit stance with this character because it's really the only thing scary about Leroy is the Hermit stance, right? So Hermit is done with a couple of different things. You can do 3+4. You can do sidestep 3+4, which is +3 on block. Great addition that they gave Leroy. Really fucking good, but you have a fuck ton of options to beat out his Hermit stance if he does sidestep 3+4. So we're gonna lab his shit from Hermit with down back 3 because again it's +5 on hit, right? So let's do down back 3 into Hermit 1. Now let's try down back 3 into Hermit 2. Hermit 2-3. Down back 3 into Hermit 3-4. Down back 3 into Hermit 4. A lot of players are just going to throw out the 4, not the 4 1+2, because Hermit 4, this is his best move in Hermit, in my opinion. This move is fucking awesome for Leroy. Leroy needs this move. It's an 11-frame kick with 2 active frames. Pretty fucking strong. Hermit 4. Okay. Next up, let's do down back 3, Hermit 1+2. Okay. Next up, we will do down back 3, Hermit up forward 3. Next, let's do Orbital. Okay. And finally, we're going to do the throw. He's also got parry. You can parry shit from this stance too. So remember that. Say you're in Hermit, you can immediately parry. So be careful of that shit. The only way to beat that is if you throw it. If you throw him. That's why everybody's so upset about down back 3. Because this is basically a safe low. It's -8 on block. And Leroy can immediately parry afterwards. So you can't, even if you block that low, Leroy can't block, but he can parry everything you try to do to try to punish him. So there is that. What about down 3-2? Down 3-2 is a great move for Leroy, and it's a scary move that you have to learn how to deal with. But unlike Hwarang's, this doesn't jail. Right? It's a natural combo. Oh, +8, you really have to respect it. +8, you have to respect this shit. Down 3-2, you just, if he hits you with this, he's basically able to do whatever he wants. So let's just learn the down back 3 sequence first, because it's a very common way to get into Hermit. Down 3-2, it's fantastic for Hermit as well, but Leroy's risking his life with this string. It doesn't jail like Hwarang's down 3-4 does. So you have to commit to the duck and then block the low, and then stay blocking for the high, and launch once he's finished the high string, or the high part of the string. That's how you beat that string. But it does transition into Hermit at +8, so you're basically at his mercy. I'd recommend just trying to hold back in that sequence. If you eat down back or down 3-2, you really just have one option: just block. Don't do anything. Block. You know, because you really can't do anything. So you feel like you're not labbing properly. This is how you lab properly. So just if nothing else, if we're not learning anything else, even about the characters in this video, just take away the idea behind how we lab. This labbing sequence that we're doing right now is how you lab characters. If you're not doing something like this, then you're not doing it right. And now you can change it up. Now you know how to lab characters. This is the sequence. So let's try down back 3 and up forward 1+2. Now he's doing the throw. And there's 8 options from Hermit. He also has parry. He also has do nothing, which is an auto parry for lows. And he's got sidestep into block. So there's 3 more options that we haven't selected yet. I wish they would give us like 15 options to do for these actions, but they're only giving us 8, which is awesome. It's more than Tekken 7, but it's still not as much as they should be. I think we should have like 12 to 15 options to select, but that's just my nerdy ass who loves to lab wanting practice mode shit. lab one more thing. Mind labbing Leo's mix off of his forward 4. I feel like I'm such a disadvantage. It's a +9 on block move, dude. It's cheap as fuck. There's honestly not much you can do. That's the difference between reasonable counterplay, like what I'm about to show you with Leroy here, versus horse shit like fucking Leo's forward 4. There really isn't any reasonable counterplay to that shit. Leo's fucking at full advantage, and there's not much you can do. So you really have to guess after that, for the most part. Whereas Leroy, you have a few more options than guessing to deal with his sequences here. Let's try the number one thing I like to do here. So we're going to get hit by this, and we're going to dick jab immediately. He's going to do a move. I know he's going to do a move, so I lose to up forward 3. I lose to orbital, obviously, because that low crushes. Okay, so dick jab is getting beaten out a bit too often for my liking, so let's try moving. Instead of being aggressive, how about we try something defensive? Now, the classic Leroy counterplay is sidewalk left. Right? You can't sidestep that move. That's why I said Hermit 4 is Leroy's best move, because it doesn't allow for a sidestep. You can't move at all. You have to respect it. So sidewalk left. If you don't want to go for an electric, you can always do this shit. So I'd say a big sidewalk left seems to have a really good... you got to buffer the sidestep here. Look at that. Big sidewalk left, and you pretty much get his back with almost everything we're doing here. Obviously, the throw recovers fast. But a big sidewalk left. Commit to the sidewalk. If he's just going to do the throw, at least you can now take your turn. Or try just going for something simple. Sidewalk left into jab. You don't always have to launch. Sometimes it's scary to try to launch. You see this? It even beats out the 1+2 string, which is also launch punishable on block. -17 that 1+2 string is. So, you know, you can get his back and do some decent combos here. The only thing you cannot sidestep after this down back 3 hits, the only thing you cannot sidewalk left is Hermit 4. And then he's at +7, and then it's his turn again. So you have to respect him if you eat the Hermit 4. But if you block the Hermit 4, which is the 4th thing we've selected here, let's do Hermit 4 into... let's try the parry, right? Let's try a parry. And then we'll try Hermit 4 into sidestep block. We'll do both of those sequences and see what we can do as options to potentially beat out his Hermit 4. If we think that he's going to try to catch our step, this is, again, layers of defense. If we think he's going to catch our step by going into Hermit 4, parry. Okay? And the other thing I want to show is record this. Sidestep left because it's Kazuya. Always sidestep Kazuya left. So Leroy is going to sidestep left. If you see a Leroy sidestepping you right as Kazuya, then they're stupid. But what are the options here? So if we block his Hermit 4, throw wins. Throw wins. Throw wins again. Throw wins. What about an electric? Catches his sidestep. Parry beats electric. Because it's a 3-frame parry, right? And he's only -7. So he's immediately able to parry anything, even a jab, right? It's a 3-frame parry. So it activates on the 3rd frame. He's -7, which means it activates in 10 frames. And then it beats out our jab because our jab is also 10 frames. He's trying to sidestep there, so the jab beats that. So don't, I would say, my suggestion is if you block his Hermit 4, go for a throw. You can't do anything. Go for a throw. This is reasonable counterplay. The only thing he can do to catch our step, our sidewalk left, after we eat a +5 on hit move to enter Hermit, the only thing Leroy can do is Hermit 4, which is a -7 on block move, so if we just decide to block and respect the Hermit 4, we get a free throw attempt after he does that. Right? So now if he does anything else after we get hit by down back 3 and he enters Hermit and he tries to continue his momentum, all he has is Hermit 4. Everything else he does loses to sidewalk left. Everything else.